march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Let's talk about the real war on women. First-wave feminism was a noble cause, but modern feminists? Well, instead of fighting for, say, paid and protected maternity leave, they want to ban words, shirts, and manspreading. Come on. That's cultural Marxism, which asserts that culture and language is responsible for oppressing women and not the state. The truth is, the state encourages gender wars. It's a divide and conquer tactic designed to keep us fighting amongst ourselves. In fact, the feminist movement was hijacked by the political class to exploit women. As the late Aaron Russo revealed, the Rockefellers bankrolled feminism, and not because they had any interest in women's rights, but because women in the workforce was the ultimate trifecta. The state collects more tax dollars, children are indoctrinated at an earlier age, and the traditional family structure destroyed. Leanne McAdoo reporting for Infowars.com.
Introducing Secret 12, the new InfoWars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com. Ladies and gentlemen, InfoWarsLife.com is offering some of the biggest specials we've ever had. 50% off the super high-quality colloidal silver bullet. Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com is free of GMOs, gluten, additives, heavily concentrated in pure deionized water, electrically stabilized to improve potency, can store in your preparedness pack or medicine cabinet for years. Silver Bullet colloidal silver, 30 parts per million, now $14.95, down from $29.95. You cannot beat this deal. 50% off on Silver Bullet colloidal silver and free shipping. Now you know that's going to anger the control freaks. We've also launched the Alex Jones Challenge Pack, the 3 InfoWars Life products that help take me to the next level. Oxy Powder to flush out the upper and lower intestines, Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2, and Super Mel Vitality fused together have given me and many others amazing results. Discover the groundbreaking, powerfully simple products at InfoWarsLife.com.
Crashing through the lies and disinformation. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, your host today. I'm going to take your calls in just a few moments. If you want to call in about the stories we've been talking about today, of course, Obama expressing regret that he accidentally killed some Americans, never expressing any regret that he's killed thousands of innocent people with the drone assassination program. We've also been talking about the video that was released by the government to condition us, I guess, to the idea that we're going to have Marines in our streets working against anyone who is protesters, doing crowd control, doing riot control. This is the way it begins. And, of course, you can see that footage right there. We talked to Paul Joseph Watson about that quite a bit. If you want to call in and talk about that or anything else we've talked about today, give us a call at 800-259-9231. Before I get back to the news, I just want to let you know again that we have Silver Bullet. InfoWars Life's colloidal silver is now 50% off at InfoWars Life store. InfoWarsLife.com, it is down $14.95 from $29.95. You'll save $15 per bottle. And again, that's a powerful 30 parts per million colloidal silver. Get it right now while it's in stock. We frequently run out of it, and this is the largest sale we've had on right now, 50% off, $15 per bottle savings. I just want to run down through some of the news that's up on Infowars.com right now. We've got, as I mentioned with Paul Joseph Watson, Puerto Rico officials are warning that there's going to be a government shutdown imminent in the next couple of months unless they get bailed out. That's the way it's starting. It's not just in Europe, it's also here. Of course, they're trying to find ways to stimulate the economy. That's why they're talking about negative interest rates. They've got to get us all to take our money out and spend it real quickly. So they've got to punish us if we try to save it. It's not enough to punish us through the tax code. They've got to punish us with negative interest rates and to make sure that we don't just hold the cash in our pockets, in our mattresses. They're going to try to do things to tax the cash, to abolish actually having cash. That's been talked about by Citibank's chief economist. We also have ex-CIA chief David Petraeus to be sentenced fairly soon for leaking military secrets. Wow. Do you think he's going to get the same kind of sentence that Manning did? I don't think so. I think he probably won't get a long enough sentence that he will miss this June's Bilderberg meeting. I bet you'll see him there. I don't think he's going to be doing any time in jail. Not at all. Of course, we've also got Deutsche Bank, which is not going to be doing any time in jail. They've been fined a record $2.5 billion in rate rigging. This is reported by Reuters. U.S. and British regulators have fined Deutsche Bank $2.5 billion, and its British subsidiary pleaded guilty to criminal wire fraud. But of course, no matter what they do, whether it is money laundering or wire fraud, whatever, they're too big to jail. We've got the LIBOR scandal. We've got money laundering that Citibank was caught in, as well as HSBC. Now Deutsche Bank have been caught doing that. But of course, Eric Holder said it wouldn't serve the interests of our country to put any of them in jail. So they gave them a fine that amounts to a very short period of their profits. Nothing against the individuals who set this up, who set up the money laundering for drug cartels, for terrorist organizations. Nothing for these people who are rigging the financial markets, the LIBOR market, the commodities market, the stock market. They just do whatever they want. So you know what? I don't think David Petraeus is going to serve any time in jail either. Like I said, I think it's June that is coming up, the Bilderberg meeting, and he's become a regular there. He now works for another Wall Street firm, Kohlberg, Kravitz, and Roberts. These are the guys that were behind the massive leveraged buyouts a few decades ago. They're still in operation. Also, old models of work are broken. This is a story that's up on Infowars.com. No sector will be immune to the changing nature of work and of value creation. And of course, many people are talking about how in just a few years, we're going to see 50% unemployment. Okay, you think it's a big deal when they shut down 5 Walmarts? Imagine what's going to happen when we got 50% unemployment. Oh yeah, that's why they've got the Marines training to fight the crowds. Look, they're going to replace truck drivers. They're going to replace people in every industry are going to be replaced with artificial intelligence as well as robotics. And if they can't replace you with a machine, they're going to import people into this country to take your job. It's all part of taking down the West. It's all part of the deconstruction plan. Of course, we've talked a lot this week about the Trans-Pacific Partnership and how that is pulling these different regions together into a global governance by multinational corporations. Another part of that, though, is to basically alter the countries with open borders. We see that in the UK, Nigel Farage is saying, send them back. He backs the policy that they have in Australia of returning all immigrants so they can stop the millions who are trying to cross the Mediterranean. And of course, there's this situation in Libya, as we've reported earlier this week. We've got a lot of people that are dying and trying to get from Libya to Italy. They're saying turn them back to stop this flow of immigrants. Some people are saying, well, that would be inhumane. Well, perhaps that would stop the flow of immigrants if they were to not know that they would not be able to get in. But of course, at the very source of this is our foreign policy, overthrowing the government of Libya. Every time we go in, as Rand Paul pointed out, every time we go in to depose one of these secular dictators, we wind up with a quagmire, usually being run by radical Islamicists, and that's what we see in Libya as well. Now, we also have this article that was up at the top of Drudge yesterday and part of today. The census says a record 51 million immigrants in just 8 years will account for 82% of the U.S. growth in population. This is a massive demographic change. And of course, that's what's happening in Europe. It's also what's happening in America. And again, they want to balkanize and take down the existing legal system, cultural systems, set up different groups against each other within the countries. That divide and conquer strategy will allow them to set one group against another as they take down the different Western economies. And then there was this interesting story that came out a couple of days ago from Breitbart, talking about a Mexican theme park that is offering illegal U.S. border crossing practices. Actually, they've got a situation there that's called Eco Alerto, and those wishing to play as if they were false illegal immigrants can pay 250 pesos to experience a simulated border crossing where they wade through mud, tunnels, and across rough terrain without torches or water while trying to evade border guards, thieves, and dangerous drug traffickers, all being played by actors. There we go. I'm reminded of the comment that Jeremy Clarkson, maybe it's one of the reasons he's not on the air anymore, because he just wasn't politically correct. You know, he said there weren't any, the Mexican country didn't have an Olympic team because everybody who could run, jump, or swim was already in America. And so I guess they can go to this Mexican theme park and practice exactly doing that. And again, pointing out that this is not just an American problem, but it is also a problem throughout Europe. The New York Times reports that Germany's small towns are feeling the cost of Europe's migrant crisis. They are crying out for money because they cannot afford to take care of everybody. See, what they do is they set up the welfare state, the entitlement state in all these Western countries. Then they open the border to the entire world. And that will take us down, just as the sociologists Cloward and Piven forecast. They said that this is the way that we essentially destroy the existing states so that we can rebuild our socialist utopia on the ruins. Just as we were talking earlier in the program about the coming Avengers program and the interview with Robert Downey Jr., that was in the last Captain America. There was a lot of rich illustrations there of how this is being played out, not only with Operation Paperclip, but also with the character being played by Robert Redford saying we have to destroy the area before we can rebuild it into the utopia that we want. That is the strategy of Cloward and Piven, to create an entitlement state, to open the borders, to tell everyone to come in. And of course, what people don't realize is that in the Trans-Pacific Partnership that is there, the Transatlantic Partnership, something for Europe as well as for us, as there's an entire chapter there about open borders and open immigration. And that, my friends, is why no one in either party is doing anything about our open borders, is because that is part of NAFTA. Well, let's go to some of your calls right now. I want to see what your comments are on what we've been talking about. Let's go to Brian in Colorado. Go ahead. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, doing a great job. I wanted to talk about David Crowley. He was the director for Gray State.
Yes.
And he was apparent murder-suicide. There's a string of these things going on, and these people, they really need to be brought to justice. And to be quite honest with you, all you guys that work there, you're at danger for any of this stuff happening. So I would suggest anybody listening to this that's an advocate for freedom in this country, that this could happen to them, maybe get a camera and hide it and just share that information with very close people so we can at least get the guys, the henchmen, behind this.
Well, you know, it's interesting because that's the way Joe Biggs got here to InfoWars, was because he was speaking out about what happened to his friend and Michael Hastings. And there was, at the very beginning, we looked at the accident of Michael Hastings. And again, I don't know about the Gray State. We've heard from people. We've been in contact with people on both sides. Some people believe that it was a suicide. Some people believe that he was murdered. But clearly with Michael Hastings, from the very beginning, the way the automobile accident was set up, I didn't buy it. And then we found in the subsequent days that he was telling everybody, hey, the FBI is coming after me. I need to go dark for a while. I'm on the run. Even concerned with his friend who lived in the same apartment building, concerned that somebody was planting something in his car. So there were a lot of indications about that, and that's the way Joe Biggs got here. So, yeah, we certainly understand that that is a risk. We certainly understand that our government is capable of assassinating people. They make it pretty open now. I mean, we've got drone assassination programs. They're still not openly talking about the fact that they would assassinate filmmakers or people who or journalists who criticize them. They're still keeping that quiet. They're still not talking about that openly. But yeah, we all understand that that's a